You get into other issues such as you're hitting on multiple senses, audible, the whole 9 yards. You get more feeling. I mean, on text, you can bold it, you can italicize it, but you can't yell at them. But you can yell at them in a video, right? So there's so many other senses you can pull them in, and retention is much better. Terry.
How long is too long if you're just reaching out to your customer or potential customer base, and you want to interest them in the product?
That's an excellent question. How long is too long? I'd love to hear this. This is going to be, it depends is the answer, but go ahead, Tom.
I would say if you're just giving an intro, stick to about a minute to 2 minutes. There's a guy I met in Seattle. He has a company called Common Craft, and he does these things called explainer videos. He's like one of his wife owns the business. He's done a lot of studies, and he says when you're trying to explain a concept, about 2 minutes is the max that people have patience for, unless they're very interested and it's like you're walking through the whole process. But if you're just trying to get people's attention, I would stick to about 1 minute and to maybe 2 minutes. But definitely check out Common Craft. That's a whole nother way to...
Common Craft?
CommonCraft.com.
Another thing too, Mark.
Mike?
One of the things you want to do in online video especially is to get your point out as quickly as possible. Because remember, there's a big difference between online video and TV video. It just goes with the paradigm of what marketing is. In the old days, there's always a hunter and a hunted, right? So basically in the old days, the company that was looking for customers was always the hunter, and the actual customer was the hunted. So the customer, would always be the guy out there, and the company would be looking for that customer, right? Well, the web's turned that on its head. Now, the actual consumer is the hunter, and the company is the hunted. So if you think about that paradigm, when you're putting together your content or putting together your video, the best thing to do is to get that information that they want as quickly as possible out. Otherwise, the easiest thing to do online is to hit the back button or hit the off button, and you'll see that people will flip off pretty quickly if they don't find what they're looking for.
And customers now, they consume so much more content now before making a purchase. They're smarter customers. So there's a lot of studies out there that show, based on the audience, of how many pieces of content does a buyer want to look at and review before making a decision. And for us in the tech space, we think of it as about 5 to 7 pieces of content before we actually get that sale. On average. So video is an important piece of that, the varied content and focusing on that.
That's great feedback. Sylvia?
Are we allowed to clap?
Where were you when I played my video?
The hunter and the hunted.
Yes, you are indeed encouraged to clap. Thomas,
one thing about you can actually see on YouTube and Wistia and Vimeo, they all have a very nice analytics package that's part of it. And it'll show you a timeline of your video, and you'll be able to see basically a line graph that shows when people drop off. And that's really so important, is to review the stats for your videos. If you're like, man, I spent all this money and put all this time into making this video, and people are just dropping off after the first 20 seconds, what's going on? When you look at the video, and you see it's kind of a dead spot. Maybe you need to boost that up. So use a cat. Just put a picture of a cat right there. Take a cat break.
Or a baby.
Or a baby. That's only a half joke.
There's another reason too. I'm glad Tom's brought that up. But there's another reason that you want to use Vimeo. On YouTube, if you ever want to replace that video file, you have to start over again. So basically, when you upload the video onto YouTube again, it's a totally different video, totally different file. Vimeo gives you the option to be able to actually replace the file. So you can go in and you've already got that video playing at a lot of different places, you can go in there and just actually say, I want to upload a new video, a new version, or a new file, and it lets you upload it into the actual spot, so you don't lose your place anywhere where it's being embedded or anything like that.
Did you hear that? Where your video is placed in multiple places? So that basically means, elaborate on multiple places, if you will.
Blogs, you know, people will find your video and they'll actually link to it on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, the worst thing you can do is either have an out-of-date link or a dead link that the video's been taken off.
How many Facebook users we got in here? How many of you like videos on Facebook? Right? Short ones, that's exactly right, Mr. Will. But all your social media outlets, all the majors support video. So repurpose that video everywhere, because they all have different benefits. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Facebook just came out with a new video platform in the last 2 weeks. Is that about something? I mean, does anybody know anything about that, Jeff? What do you know, Thomas?
It's you can update or upload longer videos than Instagram. We'll see. I think, you know, there are all these social media companies are offering more services to sell advertising, so that's the angle. Facebook, you know, they have where you can actually have a video ad, and that's rolled out in the this last year. So these are all opportunities, just like Mark's saying. You know, if you have a video, if you spend money to produce it, the best option is to put it everywhere. If you want to push it, put a little ad dollars behind it, but it's not like back in the day. It's like, oh, I have to go to, you know, NBC, ABC, and spend 20 grand. It's you can buy $100 worth of ads on Facebook or even YouTube. They have their own AdWords. I posted something on Facebook today. If you follow facebook.com/motionless, there's an article there that kind of compares the two ad programs. But definitely put it everywhere, just like Mark said.
Yeah, and it's easy to embed that. Mike's got a clever place and a service where you put videos in your emails. Do you want to expand on that a little bit, Mike?
Video itself, it's run. How many people are familiar with HTML5? Anybody? It's really run from HTML5. The problem is that most of your email clients don't actually accept HTML5. So we've got a service that basically sends a HTML like newsletter type template, and you click on, it's got a video inside it. If your email client does not accept HTML5, you click on the video and it actually automatically goes to an online version where it starts playing the video. So, you know, hopefully it's something that is just, it's confounded me as to why some of these email people like Gmail and things like that have not accepted HTML5 yet. But hopefully that's something that's coming down in the future, that basically email, you'll be able to do video and email. Because to me, it's a no-brainer. I mean,
We've been A/B testing our emails with embedding the video on it, and we've seen huge increases.
You get a lot of you get a lot of interaction. You know, we use a lot for trade shows. So like we have a mobile app. So if you're sitting at a trade show and somebody comes by, and we have a library of different videos for different services that we offer. So if we're sitting at a trade show, somebody comes by and we're talking to them about a particular service. You know, there's about 90% of the people that actually go to a trade show and talk to somebody never get followed up on, which is ridiculous. We spend a lot of money going to trade shows. So we'll be talking to somebody, and as they're leaving our booth, we're on our phone picking out the video that we want to send them, saying thank you. You know, we record a specific video. Thank you for coming to the IFT show. We appreciate you stopping by our booth. Oh, here's a spec sheet on the product that we talked about, and we attach a spec sheet on it. Follow-up for that is just astronomical. So we've got quite a few clients that we set up with that.
That's a great tip. I took a page off of one of our customers. We had a big electrician client down in Miami, and I was looking at his emails about 6 or 9 months ago. There was a little thing right down in his email signature says, "Got a minute? click here to go to our YouTube channel. And I look at this, 15 years in the business, I'm going, what a simple idea. So what did I do? Change my email signature, got a minute, check out our YouTube channel. We've got more views off that silly idea than off the search side of the coin. How silly, it's a free way of implementing, getting people engaged with you. Great tip. Let's talk about Ashley's favorite topic, return on investment. How do you measure the effectiveness of your videos and tools and all that fun stuff? We don't have 3 hours, but Ashley, I'm going to let you start this.
Okay, well, there's a lot of metrics you can capture with video, and probably the ones we focus on most, obviously, are engagement, or people sharing your content, how many are viewing it, what Thomas had said earlier, kind of where's our drop-off point of when people are actually paying attention and watching it. But also, one thing we've started to do is really setting up videos kind of at some of our conversion points on our website, whether it's on the right before you get to the cart page, are people watching it before they're purchasing it, are they clicking off of it and not actually purchasing, and really watching those conversion points on our website to see if it's helping people actually click through to buy. So that's an important one we're capturing.
Are you watching those conversion points through like a Google Analytics program or HubSpot?
HubSpot. So
they use a service called HubSpot to track that sort of movement. But there are a lot of different analytic type services. I'm certain Thomas would love to chime in on this one.
Yeah, well, any of your marketing investment, the equation is gross profit minus marketing investment divided by marketing investment. So when you're looking at how much you're going to spend on any of this stuff, it's all relevant to your profit. So you really want to look at how much is this going to save me, how much is this video going to save me, or how much is it going to make me. It's tough to figure that out. I think monitoring conversion is a good way to do it, but you're going to get a lot of people who may see it and you're just not able to measure it properly just because people are out. If you do put it on all these Facebook and YouTube and video, they may see it a bunch of different places. So it's tough. It's a tough question, and like Mark says, sometimes it depends, right? Whose catchphrase is that?
Well, actually, Terry brought up a great question about how long should the videos be? And statistically, we know they should be 3 minutes or less. But if you take a company like Penny Retirement Community, Mike's group did a 6-minute video with flyovers, and it's just Penny Retirement. If you've not been out there, you've got to check this place out. But until you see it from the air, you don't really appreciate the enormity and size of this. And thanks to them, we're able to see it from the air. But then, through other sections of the site, they've got testimonial videos that are within that 3 minutes or less. They've got the president's video, which talks about her vision and her mission. So there's a lot of different objectives for the video, right? But yeah, the one on the front page is, babe, this is Penny Retirement in 6 minutes. I think it's an ideal length.
And that really goes to the point that you really can basically, the time frame, the 3 minute or less usually tends to be search videos that people would actually find online for specific keyword. So, but the things that have to go into more like, this is who we are, this is what we do sort of thing, that could be longer. That's why that one is longer. Because usually that's just a website video, so it's going on the web.
And I can tell you this Penny is very happy with their video investments they've made. Mike, what's your take on ROI and that side of the coin, return on investment?
When we do marketing, video marketing for a client, we basically, what we'll do is usually buy a trackable phone number that will ring through to their regular phone number, and we'll put that phone number on the videos so that we know that any number, we can track that, and anytime they get a call from that number, that we know that they came from the videos. And we might do that if we are doing AdWords, we'll do another trackable number for AdWords. So you can actually track where you're getting specific phone calls from. And then website, basically you can analyze that through analytics, Google Analytics. It'll tell you where your traffic's coming from. So if you're getting a lot of traffic from YouTube, then you know that you're getting a good flow of traffic from your videos. And if you got conversion points on analytics, then you could actually tell what traffic is actually converting. So you're able to track a lot, down to a pretty close nth degree of what your return on investment is.
And Thomas, I'm going to circle back on what you said earlier, because I want to make certain I got this right. There was a nugget tossed out there. You said gross profit minus marketing investment divided by marketing investment? Did I hear that right?
That would just be like the overall, you're trying to find an ROI for your marketing, or anything, if you have overhead.
That's an awesome nugget, people.
Basic, but if you could even do it per project, you guys know what I'm trying to
Mr. Data himself, yes.
But, most people that we talk to, even bigger, we work with hospitals, we've done work for UF Health, and, some bigger entities, but they're all micromanaging their budgets. Everyone is. Small businesses, we're a small business. I'm not going to go and spend 10 grand on something that I don't know I can at least make my money back, So that's really what people are trying to figure out. Is it going to work for me? It doesn't matter if it's video or a website or TV. You really have to, it's when you guys ask the question, what's the purpose of this video? When a marketing person asks a business person that, we're not just, making stuff up. That's of huge importance. What is the purpose of this project?
Yeah, because don't we always follow up that same question with how are you going to measure that? Because it's one thing to track it, but if you don't know how they're going to measure it, you can't put a true value to that.
Some subjects are inherently boring.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, hearing you, the root's better.
Thank you for that.
But what do you use to jazz it up, if you will, or make it more exciting?
Cats and babies.
Well, the one thing about video online, again, is the fact that people are either finding it or you're sending it to them. So they have an interest in the subject matter in the beginning. So what might be boring to most mom and pops might not be boring to your intended audience. And we get a lot of times where people will ask us, I only have like 25, 30, 50 views on my video, and it's not really working for me. But then you start thinking about it, if those 25 to 50 views are actually people that typed into Google a keyword and found that video, I'd rather have 25 to 50 views of somebody like that than 15,000 views of somebody that was really looking for Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's what that term, like, in my agency days, the make it viral. Can you make it viral? That's not really the point anymore. It's, to make sure it's very targeted to your audience and that you're getting qualified leads other than just a bunch of views. So from it. And one thing being, and I'm glad Brian's not here to hear me say this, but he thinks data is sexy, but to some people it's a little bit boring. But one thing that we've done, and I've been in the tech space for a long time, so I've kind of taken this with me through a couple of companies now that, the content might be boring, but the way you present it could be a little bit more engaging, a little bit more engaged. What we do in the tech space, they're all big superhero fans. So one thing we've started to do is kind of not too much, but just enough of that kind of comic book feel, whether the guy's wearing a Batman shirt or maybe we'll do some flashy graphic at the bottom. Nothing to distract from your message, but enough just to kind of keep them locked into it a little bit longer.
Thomas.
Yeah, definitely. That's why the commercials, insurance, car commercials, they all try to make something boring into something exciting. So if your web design really and advertising in general isn't super fun, it can be fun, but you have to have a personality. You have to have a personality. So that's the biggest thing I would say. If you're going to be the spokesperson for your company, have a personality, practice it. If you expect to go into a shoot where you're hiring someone, spending a lot of money, and it's the first time you've run through what you're going to say, bad idea. Practice that thing. Sit in the mirror.
I know why Mike's looking at me.
Yeah. Basically, go to YouTube. There's like 16-year-old kids who get millions of views, and if you watch them, they're probably excited because they're 16.